Hi, welcome table family. Just wanting to connect with you as an elder and trying to sift through all the things that are going on in our world. Um, and I feel Spirit calling me to let you know about an amazing webinar I participated in yesterday on undoing racism, and it was specifically uh, for white people presented by mostly white identified people. And the reason for that is because um, oftentimes well meaning white folks will turn to people of color, indigenous folks, and black people to ask for help. How do we do this? And what we're learning is that that's not their job to figure out. It's our job to figure out, how do we do this? How do we unlearn racism? How do we unlearn the white supremacy that we've all been born into and steeped in all of our lives? How do we begin to imagine a new way to be, both as individuals and as a society? I think one of the things that was really powerful about this webinar is that it began and threaded throughout the idea of being spiritually connected. And that was really powerful for me to think about. This work isn't just a head thing, it's very much a head thing. And it's not just a body or a physical showing up thing, but it's also a deep, deep spirit thing. And what does that look like for us as white people? What does that look like for me as a white person? I'm still not sure. I'm just learning. I feel like I'm at the very tip of an iceberg, but I know that in our faith community, if it's ever been true, it is always true. And the work of doing spirit and the work of undoing harm to God's beloved people that I've unwittingly been part of, that held in all of that is a grace and a God who is leading us forward, that we're going to screw up, we're going to make mistakes, we're going to stumble over our words, and it's part of the process. We're not going to get it perfect, but there's no alternative but to try. One of the other things that I heard was that as white people, it's a both and process. Again, if it's ever been true, it's always true. And I've often thought of our faith as a both and thing. And in this sense, we need to allow space for the rage that is being expressed over 400 years of oppression, not just in our country, but globally, and 400 years of colonialism and all the things that go with that. We need to hold space for that, and space for absolute love. And it makes me think of Jesus, who expressed absolute rage. You brood of vipers, the turning over of the tables, the way he called out the religious leaders and authorities of his day. And of course, offered absolute love to the widow, to the orphan, to the Samaritan woman, the people on the fringes, and also the centurion. What kind of love is that? That's the kind of love that's going to save my soul. That's the kind of love that's going to save this country. That's the kind of love, whether we call it Christian or not. But that's the kind of love that's going to save us all.